Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I have another layout for you. This is a relatively quick video. I have done a lot of shorter videos here recently. I've been on like a scrapbook and roll. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm loving it, so I'm just going with it. I am first using this Heidi Grace paper. It's by Fiskars, and this has got to be like at least 6 or 7 years old. I don't know when it came out, but I actually had this in my stash before I even started scrapbooking. I just had it with my craft supplies. So I've had this for quite some time. So anyways, I gutted the middle because I want to use this throughout this month and then also possibly on the photos that I do for my other sister about her baby. It's like a mother and father bird with a little baby bird, and it's just really cute. So I'm using it to mat my white cardstock on that I'm going to use for this layout. And I've got this photo. What is it called? Yeah, I'm totally going to butcher this. I think it's called Sepia. Is that yeah, I think it's Sepia. That's the setting on your camera that you can get to kind of have these yellow and brown tones. So that's how this photo was taken. And this was actually taken at my house when my sister and brother-in-law were up here with their nephew, or not their nephew, with my nephew. So I cut a strip of that paper of these little birds, and I'm going to put it at the bottom, and then I'm going to cut out a few of them and kind of put them on different spots on the layout. I am trying to figure out which alphas I want to use. I like these sticker sheets where they have a whole bunch of different colors, but I have a really hard time doing a multicolored word. I don't mind having one word one color, one word another color, but it just messes with my mind because I feel like the colors aren't random enough. And then it looks like it's on purpose, but it's like all messed up, so whatever. Anyways, I'm going to use these alphas that are kind of denim colored instead, and these are from October Afternoon. It's the Sarsaparilla decal collection. I'm just trying to look to see what I want to put the photo on. I always like to map my photos, especially if I only use one photo, because I feel like it looks like it's floating in the middle of the layout. So I always mat the photo, usually on white and then on something else. So I'm going to mat it on just a piece of white scrap paper. It's like, I think it was the back side of something else. And then I'm going to use a couple other layers. I am pulling again from my scrap bin like I have been doing for quite some time. And I'm going to use a lot of blues on this layout. The background, the birds kind of have a purpley tone to them, though it is a blue, it is a boy paper. So I'm going to try a couple different things, and then I'm going to end up pulling out a purple paper out of my stash. And I didn't even know I had purple in my stash, but I did. I have a My Mind's Eye paper. And I really like this red polka dot, but obviously even looking at it right here, it's just like a eyesore. It's just like a big pop of color that doesn't need to be there. So it's not going to stay there for very long. Right now I'm trimming out these birds. I'm just kind of trimming around the tops of them, so it's not just like this square of paper. It's just going to be kind of cut apart right there. Just trimmed around the tops of them because their legs are all kind of sticking down. There's no point in trimming around that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this other one, and I'm going to take, I think I'm going to do 2 or 3, I'm going to do 2 little clusters of birds as well. And I like to keep my scrapbook space pretty clean, so you see me periodically move things around. Now, it doesn't mean I don't have supplies piled up all around me, because I sure as heck do, but I like to keep all the trash and things off my space. I have this Craftsmith kind of embellishment kit. I don't know what they call it, but I do know it's from Craftsmith. It came out at Michael's. I don't know if they have names or anything, but it's the one that has like the blue paisley patterns in it. And I'm pulling out the navy parts of it because there are some navy elements in this little set. You know, they still have those kind of purpley tones, but it matches the background paper really well. I'm also looking through my frames here to see if there's something I want to do with those, because I have a couple that are in the blue and the white tones. And I'm going to end up using the frame, the like Polaroid frame that you see right there. And this is also a Hello Darling collection from, what is this one? Oh, We Are Memory Keepers. That's what that was called. And this is like the ephemera pack. So I'm gonna use a couple of these die cuts here. I'm going to use the purple heart, And I'm also going to use the one that says Hello Darling there with the flower on it. And then there's that You Make Me Happy that you see off to the side on the pile. And I'm going to use that as well. When I pulled in, I just took off that red paper. And when I pulled in this background, or when I started pulling in these purple ones, I knew, okay, I need to get a purple pattern going on here. So I pull out this one, and I'm still shocked that I actually had this in my stash because I didn't even know I had purple in my stash. Purple's not really my favorite color. Could do without it, but it is nice to know that I actually had a piece of paper, so should I need it, I have it. I have a piece of purple pattern paper. Piece of purple pattern paper. That's hard to say. Piece of purple pattern paper. All right, I'm just gluing down these little photo corners. I thought it was a nice way to frame in the layout, in addition to having the white cardstock matted. And I'm just layering my birds, and I know it's going to layer right over this one, and it's totally fine. It just adds a little bit of fluidity to the layout in my eye. Anyways, that could make absolutely no sense to anybody else, but it does to me, so we're going with it. All right, just sticking down the elements. This one came together so quickly. Once I found that, realized I was going to do some purple coloring here, it was really easy to embrace it. Now, okay, so I'm going to use this frame, and I'm making a kind of a banner out of it. I liked the other one, but the white center of it was a slightly different white than my background pattern, or my background cardstock. So I didn't want to use that because you could tell it was a different white. And that's where I put that one back. And then I will use the offcut of that little Polaroid camera that I made into a banner. I'll use it to layer behind my paper layering as well. Anytime I cut little scraps off, I really do try to use them, if at all possible. Just covering up where I cut out the middle of that background paper so it doesn't get caught on anything whenever my sister slides it in and out of her album. This is where I'm just using the other little bit of that frame. If I can make it work on the layout, I will, because I obviously have already used that same color on here. So repeating it in another section is not distracting. It's actually complementary. So I try to use it if I can instead of putting it in my little scrap bin, because there's no telling how long it'll sit there. All right, and then my title needs something. It's just kind of floating. So I have teal on that one that one embellishment that says Hello Darling. So I found this teal washi tape, and it's actually a Heidi Swap washi tape, and it's one of those that has patterns like every 7 or 8 inches it changes patterns. And so I just cut off the little teal star, and it matches that Hello Darling tag perfectly. You can see here where it changes again. And I'll keep the little pieces that I cut off because you never know when I'll use it. But I wanted to have that teal down here again at the bottom repeating. And then I also had pulled off a navy one that you see right here. And there's one that says Happiness Is. And I'm going to use that. The other part of it said, I think, Unforgettable. But I didn't need that part. I just needed the Happiness Is. And since it's layering over a couple different things here, I'm just going to put it on a piece of white cardstock so I can make it into a banner shape as well. And so it kind of says, the title's really just Precious, but it kind of says Happiness Is Precious. And then I've got You Make Me Happy and Hello Darling on the other tags. And then I am going to cut out another little bird set here to go right on this side of the photo. And then I am going to add that little washi tape, and I've talked about this before, but the one that has the date labels on it. I always put it on a bit of white cardstock and then trim around it and make my little date labels. If anybody knows where this is from or another one that's similar, please let me know, because I'm going to run out of these very soon, and I use these all the time. So anyways, this is pretty much the end of the layout. I'm going to add a couple homemade enamel dots that I made with my perler beads. But if you'd like to see what supplies I used, if you didn't catch it when I said it, go to my blog. It's www.designbymelody.wordpress.com. I've just recently, as in like a week and a half ago, started keeping a list of all my supplies on there so you can reference it if you like. Also, subscribe to my videos if you would, please, so you can see all my videos as they come, or subscribe to my channel, I should say, so you can see all my videos as they go live, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Thanks, guys. Bye.